there! Ready for a wellness adventure? Let's explore the world of health together!
Ever wondered how a tiny change, like what you eat for lunch, can affect your entire body? It all comes down to an incredible, perfectly organized system. Think of your body like a skyscraper, built from the ground up. Each floor relies on the one below it. Today, we're going on a tour of this amazing structure, from the smallest brick to the whole building. Let's start at the very bottom, with the first functional level, the cell. Now, we're all made of molecules like proteins and fats, but those aren't alive on their own. The cell is the smallest unit that's actually living. It's a microscopic powerhouse that keeps itself balanced, talks to its neighbors, and generates energy. Every single thing your body does move in thinking. Even digesting your food starts with the coordinated work of trillions of these tiny cells. Each cell is wrapped in a special barrier called the plasma membrane. This isn't just a wall. It's more like a bouncer at a club. Deciding what gets in and what gets kicked out, it carefully controls the movement of nutrients, ions, and waste. This is crucial for maintaining a stable internal environment, a concept known as homeostasis. For example, if too much sodium rushed into your nerve cells, the electrical signals that let you think and move would completely fail. So, this dynamic membrane is a master regulator of your body's balance. Inside the cell, it's like a bustling city with specialized buildings called organelles. You've got the mitochondria, the power plants, generating energy in the form of ATP. Then there's the nucleus, the city hall, holding all the genetic blueprints. The endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus act as the factory and postal service, processing and shipping out proteins. They all have to work together. If the mitochondria slow down, the protein factory can't get enough power, repairs don't get done, and eventually, the whole system starts to break down. This shows how the health of one tiny organelle can impact everything. What's really cool is that cells specialize for different jobs. A muscle cell is built for contraction. A neuron is designed for sending electrical messages. A red blood cell is shaped perfectly to carry oxygen. This specialization makes our body incredibly efficient, but it also means that if a specific type of cell is damaged, we see very specific problems. For instance, when the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas are destroyed, it leads to trouble with blood sugar regulation. This cellular-level damage is the root cause of many chronic diseases. Now, what happens when you group similar cells together? You get the next level up, tissues. A tissue is simply a team of cells working together on a shared mission. There are 4 main types in our bodies. First, epithelial tissue, which forms protective linings, like your skin or the inside of your digestive tract. Second, connective tissue, which provides support and structure. Think bone, blood, and fat. Third is muscle tissue, which creates movement. And finally, nervous tissue, the body's communication network. Let's look at epithelial tissue in your gut. The cells are packed tightly together, forming a barrier that controls what nutrients get absorbed into your bloodstream. If this barrier gets leaky, things that should stay in the intestine can get out and trigger inflammation or immune reactions. It's a perfect example of how the way cells are arranged creates a new, vital function at the tissue level. Connective tissue is a bit different. Its cells are spread out in a material called the extracellular matrix, which is made of proteins like collagen. This matrix is what gives tissues like bone their incredible strength, and this is where your diet comes in directly. Getting enough calcium and vitamin D is essential for building a strong bone matrix. Muscle tissue is all about coordinated action. Thousands of tiny muscle fibers, which are just specialized cells, contract all at once to produce movement. But they can't do it without a constant supply of ATP from the mitochondria inside them. Again, we see how tissue function depends directly on cellular energy. And nervous tissue. It's the high-speed internet of your body. Neurons transmit electrical signals that control everything from your heartbeat to your thoughts. But these cells are extremely sensitive. Deprive them of oxygen for just a few minutes, and they can be permanently damaged. This highlights how much our tissues rely on a healthy blood supply. When different types of tissues team up, we get the next level, an organ. An organ is a distinct structure made of multiple tissues working in harmony. Take the heart. It has muscle tissue to pump, connective tissue for structure, epithelial tissue lining its chambers, and nervous tissue to control its rhythm. Each tissue type is essential for the heart to do its job. The stomach is another great example. It has an epithelial lining to secrete acid, muscle layers to mix food, connective tissue to hold its shape, and nerves to coordinate everything. If any one of these tissues is compromised, say, through chronic inflammation, the entire organ's function suffers. So, a healthy organ depends on healthy tissues, but organs don't work in isolation. They form teams called organ systems. This is where things get really interconnected. The digestive system, for example, isn't just the stomach. It's the mouth, esophagus, intestines, liver, and pancreas all working together. Each organ has its part to play, but you can't digest a meal without all of them cooperating. The cardiovascular system is another key example. The heart pumps blood, and the blood vessels carry it everywhere. The blood itself transports oxygen, nutrients, and hormones to your cells. If your heart's pumping action weakens, cells all over your body won't get enough oxygen, and their function will decline. This system works hand in hand with the respiratory system. The lungs bring in oxygen, which the cardiovascular system then delivers. Without that oxygen, the mitochondria in your cells can't produce energy efficiently. Then we have the endocrine system, which uses hormones for long-distance communication. When the pancreas releases insulin into the blood, it's sending a message to cells all over the body to take in glucose. If that signal gets ignored, like in insulin resistance, blood sugar rises and can eventually damage organs throughout the body. This shows how a problem in one system can create a cascade of issues everywhere else. The nervous and endocrine systems are the master coordinators, constantly working to maintain homeostasis, size, stable internal balance we talked about. They use feedback loops to keep things like your body temperature and blood sugar within a tight, healthy range. When you get hot, your nervous system triggers sweating to cool you down. This whole balancing act requires ever-level cells, tissues, organs, and systems to be in good working order. Finally, at the very top of the hierarchy, we have the organism you. A healthy you is the result of all these systems working together in perfect harmony. Health isn't just about one organ feeling good. It's about the coordinated stability of the entire structure. A problem that starts small, maybe a nutritional deficiency at the cellular level, can ripple upwards, weakening tissues, impairing organs, and reducing the resilience of your entire body. So, the next time you think about your health, remember this incredible hierarchy. From the trillions of cells working tirelessly, to the tissues they form, the organs they build, and the systems they create, every level depends on the one below it. By supporting our health at the most fundamental, cellular level with good nutrition and a healthy lifestyle, you're strengthening the entire structure from the ground up. Have you ever wondered how your body stays so incredibly consistent? How you maintain a steady temperature, whether it's scorching hot outside or freezing cold? Or how your energy levels seem to find their balance after a big meal? The secret is a remarkable biological process called homeostasis. It's your body's built-in superpower for keeping everything on an even keel. So, what exactly is homeostasis? Think of it as your body's internal thermostat, cruise control, and master regulator all rolled into one. It's the ability to maintain a stable, relatively constant internal environment, even when the world outside is constantly changing. But this stability isn't static or rigid. It's a dynamic balancing act. Key physiological variables like your body temperature, blood sugar, blood pressure, and oxygen levels are all kept within a very narrow, safe range. According to the National Institutes of Health, our very survival depends on this delicate control. When these variables stray too far, our cells can't function properly, and that's when problems begin. Let's break down some of these variables. Your body temperature, for instance, likes to hang out right around 37 degrees Celsius, or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Your blood glucose, or sugar, goes up after you eat, but your body quickly works to bring it back down to a healthy baseline. Your blood's pH is another great example, tightly managed between 7.35 and 7.45. Each of these variables has a target range, often called a set point. But a set point isn't a single magic number. It's more like a comfortable, acceptable window. When a variable moves outside this window, your body's regulatory systems kick into gear to steer it back. Public health institutions tell us that when these systems are constantly struggling with major deviations, it can pave the way for chronic diseases. How does your body pull off this incredible feat? It all comes down to a three-part system: a sensor, a control center, and an effector. First, a sensor detects a change in a variable. Think of it as a lookout. This information is then sent to a control center, which is like the mission command. The control center, often in the brain, interprets the signal and decides on a course of action. Finally, it sends instructions to an effector, which is the part of the body that carries out the correction. Let's use temperature as an example. If you get two hot sensors in your skin and brain detect the rise in temperature, the control center, a part of your brain called the hypothalamus, gets the message and activates effectors like your sweat glands to start producing sweat. As the sweat evaporates, it cools you down. Simple, yet brilliant. The primary mechanism driving this process is called negative feedback. Don't let the word negative fool you. It's actually a very good thing. Negative feedback works to oppose or reverse the initial change. Let's go back to blood sugar. After you eat a delicious meal, your blood glucose rises. In response, special cells in your pancreas release the hormone insulin. Insulin acts like a key, unlocking your body's cells so they can absorb glucose from the blood for energy. As glucose levels drop back toward the normal range, insulin release slows down. The response counteracted the original spike. This type of feedback loop is the foundation of hormonal regulation and keeps most of our body's systems in check. Let's explore the flip side. What happens when you get cold? The same system kicks in, but with a different response. Your temperature sensors signal the hypothalamus that you're too chilly. The hypothalamus then tells your muscles to start shivering, which generates heat. It also constricts the blood vessels near your skin to reduce heat loss. Both of these actions work to bring your body temperature back up to its happy place. While negative feedback is the star of the show, there's another, less common mechanism called positive feedback. Instead of opposing a change, positive feedback amplifies it. A classic example is blood clotting. When you get a cut, damaged tissues release chemicals that activate platelets. These activated platelets then release more chemicals, which activate even more platelets. This creates a rapid cascade effect that quickly forms a clot to seal the wound and stop the bleeding. Positive feedback loops are powerful but are usually short-lived and have a clear endpoint, because if they went on forever, they could become dangerously unstable. Your body is also incredibly smart and can even anticipate changes. This is called anticipatory regulation. For instance, just the sight or smell of food can make your mouth water and trigger your stomach to release digestive enzymes. Your body is getting ready for the meal before you've even taken a bite. This forward-thinking approach helps to minimize large swings in your internal state and makes the whole digestive process more efficient. Blood pressure regulation is a fantastic example of how multiple systems work together. Special sensors called baroreceptors in your blood vessels constantly monitor pressure. If your blood pressure drops, your nervous system immediately responds by increasing your heart rate and tightening your blood vessels. At the same time, your kidneys get involved, activating hormonal systems to help your body retain salt and water, which also helps to raise blood pressure. It's a coordinated dance between short-term fixes and long-term adjustments. Oxygen regulation is another vital process. Your body doesn't directly measure oxygen, but it keeps a close eye on carbon dioxide levels in the blood. When CO2 builds up, it makes your blood slightly more acidic. Chemoreceptors detect this change and signal the respiratory centers in your brain. Of course, all this hard work requires energy. Maintaining homeostasis is an active process. Your cells need a constant supply of energy, in the form of ATP, to power all these regulatory mechanisms. If the energy supply dwindles, say during severe illness or dehydration, the system can become overwhelmed, and medical help might be needed to restore balance. When homeostasis is chronically disrupted, it can lead to disease. Take type 2 diabetes, for example. In this condition, the body's cells become resistant to insulin. Even though the pancreas is producing it, the cells don't respond properly, so glucose stays high in the blood. Over time, this constant state of high blood sugar can damage blood vessels, nerves, and organs. Stress is another major player that can throw homeostasis off balance. Acute stress triggers the fight or flight response, raising your heart rate, blood pressure, and blood sugar to prepare you for immediate action. This is helpful in the short term, but chronic, long-term stress keeps these systems activated, which can alter your body's baseline settings and negatively affect your immune system, metabolism, and even your sleep. Speaking of sleep, it's absolutely essential for restoring homeostasis. While you sleep, your body is busy with repair, your hormone patterns shift, and your metabolic rate slows down. Not getting enough sleep can disrupt this crucial restoration process, affecting everything from your appetite to your ability to regulate blood sugar. As we age, our homeostatic control systems can become a bit less efficient. The sensation of thirst might decrease, increasing the risk of dehydration. Blood vessels may become less flexible, affecting blood pressure control. This is a natural part of aging, but it highlights why maintaining a healthy lifestyle becomes even more important over time. And that brings us to the power we have in our own hands. Our daily choices, what we eat, how much we move, how well we sleep, and how we manage stress all directly support or challenge our body's ability to maintain homeostasis. Good nutrition provides the raw materials for hormones and cell repair. Regular exercise strengthens our cardiovascular system. Stable routines help our internal clock stay synchronized. It's all connected. In the end, homeostasis isn't about being perfectly still or unchanging. It's about being resilient and adaptable. It's a continuous, dynamic process of adjustment that keeps your body running smoothly amidst the chaos of life. Understanding and appreciating this incredible internal dance can empower us to make choices that support our health in the long run. Ever wonder how that apple you just ate actually affects your body? It's not just about calories or feeling full. Nutrition works on a much deeper level, starting right down in your cells and building its way up through your entire system. Today, we're diving into the incredible journey of how food becomes you, transforming from simple nutrients into the very fabric of your being. Let's start at the very beginning, the cellular level. Think of your cells as tiny, bustling cities. They need two things to function: energy and building materials. Nutrients are the trucks delivering both. Glucose, fatty acids, and amino acids are the fuel, getting converted into ATP, the universal energy currency that powers everything from sending messages to repairing DNA. When you don't eat enough, ATP production drops. Your cells go into survival mode, cutting back on non-essential tasks like growth and repair. It's a direct, immediate impact of what's on your plate. Now, what about the building materials? This is where protein comes in. Amino acids from protein are the bricks and mortar for building everything. Enzymes that speed up chemical reactions. Structural proteins like collagen that hold you together, and transport proteins like hemoglobin that carry oxygen. If you're low on protein, your body can't heal wounds properly because the fibroblast cells can't produce enough collagen. You literally can't rebuild yourself. Fats, or lipids, are just as crucial. They form the protective outer wall of every single cell, the cell membrane. The types of fats you eat directly influence how fluid and flexible these membranes are, which in turn affects how well your cells can communicate with each other. Better fats mean better cell signaling, which is essential for responding to hormones and other messages. And let's not forget the micronutrients. Vitamins and minerals are like the specialized workers in our cell cities. They act as cofactors, helping enzymes do their jobs. For example, iron is essential for hemoglobin to grab onto oxygen. Without enough iron, your body can't make enough healthy red blood cells, leading to anemia. It starts with a problem inside the cell and ends with your entire body feeling tired and weak from a lack of oxygen. When billions of healthy, well-nourished cells come together, they form functional tissues. Like your muscles. After a workout, they need protein and energy to repair and grow stronger. If your diet is lacking, your body might actually start breaking down muscle tissue for fuel instead of building it up. Over time, this contributes to muscle loss, a condition known as sarcopenia, especially as we get older. Bone tissue is another perfect example. Your bones are a living matrix of minerals, constantly being broken down and rebuilt. They need a steady supply of calcium and phosphorus for structure. And vitamin D is the key that unlocks the door for calcium to be absorbed from your gut. Without enough vitamin D, you can't get the calcium you need, and your bones become weak. This is how a simple vitamin deficiency can lead to serious conditions like osteoporosis. But what about too much of a good thing? Nutrient excess also changes our tissues. If you constantly eat more sugar than your cells can use, your liver steps in. It converts the extra glucose into fat. Over time, this fat can build up inside liver cells, potentially leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Your body is just trying to store the extra energy. But the long-term consequence is a change in the organ structure and function. Moving up another level, we have our organs. Organ function is the sum of all its cellular activities. Your pancreas, for instance, releases insulin in response to carbs. This helps your cells absorb glucose from the blood. But if you're constantly bombarding your system with huge sugar spikes, your pancreas has to work overtime. This chronic stress can eventually lead to insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding properly to insulin's signal. Your diet is directly influencing your endocrine system. Your cardiovascular system is also listening closely to your diet. High sodium intake makes your body hold on to more water to keep things balanced. This extra fluid increases the volume of your blood, which in turn raises your blood pressure. It's a simple cause and effect relationship. The fats you eat also play a huge role, influencing the types of cholesterol and fats circulating in your blood, which is a major factor in heart health. Even your digestive system itself adapts. Fiber is a fantastic example. It feeds the friendly bacteria in your gut. These microbes ferment the fiber and produce short-chain fatty acids. These little molecules are amazing. They provide energy for your colon cells, strengthen your gut barrier, and even help regulate your immune system. So what you eat literally shapes the ecosystem inside you, with far-reaching effects. Now, let's zoom out to the system level, where everything comes together. Regulating your blood sugar isn't just one organ's job. It's a beautifully coordinated dance. You eat carbs, your intestines absorb the glucose, your pancreas releases insulin, and your muscles and liver take up the glucose for energy or storage. It's a multi-system response, all triggered by a single meal. Hydration is another system-wide player. Water is essential for maintaining blood volume and helping your kidneys filter waste. When you're dehydrated, your blood gets thicker, and your kidneys work hard to conserve every drop of water, all orchestrated by hormonal signals. Simple water intake directly impacts your circulatory and renal systems. It's not just what you eat, but when you eat. Your body runs on an internal clock, a circadian rhythm, and your eating patterns can either sync with it or throw it off. Late-night eating, for example, can mess with how your body handles glucose. Combine that with poor sleep, and you can disrupt the hormones that control your appetite. Nutrition doesn't happen in a vacuum. It interacts with all of your body's other rhythms, and nature is smart. Foods often contain nutrients that work together. Vitamin C helps you absorb iron from plant-based foods. Fat helps you absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. This is why a balanced diet of whole foods is so powerful. The nutrients come pre-packaged with their synergistic partners, working together in complex networks. Your immune system is also profoundly affected. It needs protein to build antibodies, and vitamins and minerals like zinc and vitamin C to power its cellular solars. A nutrient-deficient diet can weaken your immune response. Conversely, chronic overnutrition, leading to excess body fat, can also cause problems. Adipose tissue isn't just storage, it's an active endocrine organ that can secrete inflammatory molecules, contributing to systemic issues like metabolic syndrome. In short, from the tiniest molecule to your entire body, nutrition is the master architect. It provides the energy, the building blocks, and the instructions that shape your health at every single level. When your diet aligns with your body's needs, everything just works better. When it's out of balance, the strain shows up everywhere. So the next time you sit down for a meal, remember, you're not just eating. You are actively building and communicating with every part of yourself. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into how your body works.
Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it.